Unfortunately, I could not take prohibitions yesterday. I will be taking it just now. And this is one of the most important and most dangerous chapters as far as our custom clearance is concerned. Prohibitions are under section 11, as I told you on the first day. Section 11 of the Customs Act 1962 is one of the most dangerous sections. It has given all the powers in the world, mind you, I am underlining the word, all the powers in the world, to a single customs officer. So let us start first by saying a namaskar to our Saraswati Devi ji. We go to the definitions, first part. Prohibited goods have been defined in subsection 33 of section 2 of Customs Act as meaning any goods the import or export of which is subject to any prohibition under the Customs Act or any other law for the time being in force. That means not only Customs Act but any other law. If there is a prohibition on import and export, it is coming under section 11. And that is why I say it is the most dangerous section, giving all powers to the Customs Department, one customs officer. Under section 11 of the Customs Act, the central government has the power to issue notification under which export or import of any goods can be declared as prohibited. The prohibition can be either absolute or conditional. Absolute means no, it cannot be imported or exported. Conditional means yes, those items can be imported or exported, but subject to compliance of certain terms and conditions. And there are various laws and there are various acts which are other than the Customs Act, which deals with all these respective conditions. We have prohibitions coming under two different categories, one under the foreign trade policy and one under the Customs Act 1962. I think Mr. Sridham has already dealt with prohibitions coming under the foreign trade policy, but I will again summarize it. Import or export of goods may be prohibited, A, in compliance of UN Security Council resolutions. Mind you, all the restrictions and prohibitions coming under the foreign trade policy are mostly international requirements by the United Nations or certain other countries. Then import export of arms and related material from or to Iraq, import export of UN Security Council document listed items of goods and technology which could contribute to the nuclear related, ballistic missile related or other weapons of mass destruction related program of DPR Korea. Import export of UN Security Council document listed items of goods and technology, etc., as per for Iran. Korea and Iran are in the same line as far as nuclear weapons are concerned, and therefore all items which have been listed in the separate document they are all under prohibitions. Any other compliance of international resolution or conventions. That means at any further time there is a convention in the United Nations and certain prohibitions are applied anywhere for any other requirement, they would also be taken up under the foreign trade policy. Under Custom Act section 11, you have subsection 1 which says central government is satisfied that it is necessary so to do for any purpose specified in subsection 2. It may by notification in the official gazette prohibit either absolutely or subject to such conditions to be fulfilled either before or after clearance, as may be specified in the notification, the export or import of goods of any specified description. And the most important part is the list. Let us try to understand what this list is. Under this list, the first that we have is the maintenance of the security of India. Now, can somebody tell me who is responsible for maintenance the security of India as a whole? Which ministry or department? The armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Defense Ministry. Armed forces are basically responsible for the maintenance of security of India. But our customs officer also has got the powers of the armed forces by virtue of section 11 by 2 by A. That means they have become defense officers also, right or wrong? Maintenance of public order and standards of decency or morality. This is basically the work of the police department in each state. So it again means that the custom officer is also a police officer, right? Prevention of smuggling, yes, that's the basic function of the customs officer. Prevention of shortage of goods of any description. This is mostly the industrial requirements, etc. So industries ministries comes into the picture. Conservation of foreign exchange and the safeguarding of balance of payments, that is controlled by Reserve Bank of India under FEMA. So it basically means that the customs officer is also a Reserve Bank of India officer, right? Prevention of injury to the economy of the country by uncontrolled import or export of gold or silver. In the past, we used to have total control, gold control order, total control on gold and silver. Of course, today we don't have total control, we have only partial control. Prevention of surplus of any agricultural product or the product of fisheries. Again, the agricultural ministry officers, their powers have also been given to the customs officer. Maintenance of standards for the classification, grading or marketing of goods in international trade. This is either BIS standards or AgMark standards, now under the Indian metrological standards. Establishment of any industry. Normally, this is the work of the industries ministry, either small scale industry SSI or heavy industries ministry. But by virtue of this section, these powers also have been given to the custom department, that is the customs officer. Prevention of serious injury to domestic production of goods of any description.